Hello friends, welcome back to my channel and welcome if you're new here today. My name is Dina and I am so glad that you decided to stop by. I hope each and every one of you are off to a great start to your new week. I just wanted to thank you for all the sweet comments on last week's video. We headed out to the antique shop and to Hobby Lobby, and we even put together a recipe. So if you haven't seen that video, go back and look at that. Now today we are going to make our way over to Hobby Lobby once again. I received so many comments asking when I might be bringing back my in-store decorating videos. Now if you are new here today, I have done in-store decorating videos for quite a while now. I have a few store managers that have completely welcomed me into the store and let me decorate to my heart's content right there on the spot. What I do is I go around, gather up a few items, set up and decorate just in a corner or something, and then once I'm done, gather everything back up and put it back in its place, and I try to make sure that it goes back even better than I found it, so please don't worry about that. But I am excited to go ahead and make my way around Hobby Lobby looking for some things. I thought maybe we could concentrate on some pre-fall decor or early fall decor. I hope that will give you some inspiration. I know it's gonna give me some. I do want to do something a little bit different this year, and so I thought, well, let's go ahead and see what we can come up with there. I know that you all really enjoy this. It gives us a lot of inspiration, and it does give you a chance to maybe purchase things that I have used in store, because you can make your way to your Hobby Lobby or even look online and have it shipped to your home. Now this video is in no way sponsored by Hobby Lobby, so please don't think that I am making any money off of it. Again, it's just for inspiration. And if you don't want to purchase anything, that's completely fine as well. I know a lot of us try to use what we have on hand, but again, I think this gives us a lot of inspiration for that as well. So I hope that you enjoyed today's video. Now, I wanted to touch on something else really quickly. I received quite a few messages over on Instagram about my little limp. Now, those of you that have been around know that I broke my ankle, about 3 months ago now. And yes, I am having a little bit of difficulty with it, not necessarily where I broke it. In fact, when you look on the x-ray, you can't even find that I did break my ankle, which is just amazing. And I thank God for that all the time. But I did end up with some severe nerve damage and some arthritis in my ankle on the other side. And so it has been quite painful. I have kind of tried to hide that, but sometimes it's a little bit more painful than the norm, and the limp kind of shows itself more than others. So I'm sorry for that, but it is real life and I'm okay. That's my main thing, is I wanted to let you know, yes, I am okay. We're trying to work through this process and see what's going to help the most. I did have a couple injections a couple weeks ago. They did not work as well as the doctor had hoped, so we're trying to figure out what our next step is. I am going to physical therapy 2 times a week, and then I am trying to get back into my own exercise routine, because I know that it really helps to build my core up, which helps the arthritis in my back and then now in my ankle. So we're really trying to work on that, but I just want you to know I am okay. I will make it through this. Just pray that the pain starts to subside so I can kind of move around a little bit more freely. So in saying that though, I probably won't do too much at Hobby Lobby because it does get a little painful, but we're gonna work with it. So let's go ahead, make our way over to Hobby Lobby and see what we can come up with. As I began looking through the garlands, I noticed right away there wasn't much variation in color this year. Everything was so bright and vibrant, but that was not at all what I had pictured in my head for the first vignette that I wanted to put together. So I knew that I had to somehow think outside the box. Now, I absolutely love the idea of using the garland because it is one whole piece, and some of these were priced so inexpensively that it almost had me changing my mind. But as I turned around to the pick side of the aisle, I noticed a couple with more muted tones to the leaves and decided to go that route instead. But if you have a garland that works, I say go that route. Or if you happen to have a couple handfuls of picks you like, then definitely go ahead and use those for sure. Next, I wanted to bring in some berries to the mix and remembered these from last week. I think these might be the perfect addition to the fall leaves. Now, I also wanted to mention that being this is more of a pre-fall vignette, a green garland would work great if the thought of fall leaves is just too much to think about right now. Okay, I found a space to work in, and I also found this beautiful mirror that I want to use as a backdrop to this vignette. It would make the perfect setting on a mantle or even a buffet, and if you were to take the mirror away, the rest could easily become a centerpiece to any table, which makes it even better because you could use this all over your home. The mirror is going to reflect anything you set in front of it, and that is something I truly love about using them in vignettes like this one. To add to the moodiness of fall, I thought this print and the unique frame was perfect. It's not only beautifully unique, but rustic all at the same time. Then simply adding in all the leaves, having them flow from one end to the other will give dimension and texture as well. Letting them drape off the console and even up and around the print and mirror will add to the flow of your placement and give it so much more movement as opposed to just laying them all in a simple straight line. It's little things like this that can take your vignette one step further. Now to finish this look off, I'm simply adding in a few candlesticks for that warm golden light that wraps any room in a quiet comfort as the flames dance in the reflection of the mirror. The perfect way to set a warm and inviting start to a brand new season. just like I have in the past, I do want to leave you with a close-up of what I have used along with the item number and price for each and every item. Now today, all the fall decor was 30% off, and the florals and greenery and ribbon were 40% off. But always check your local Hobby Lobby ad before venturing out to make sure what you are in search of is indeed on sale, because it's so much better to wait and save than purchase without a discount. Okay, we are back out on the hunt for our next vignette. I was inspired by the ivory berries I saw earlier. I felt they gave off a romantic vibe, and you all know how much I love bringing in a romantic feel to my decor. So we are looking for items to not only enhance that idea, but also to be a little bit different than what we've already put together. Now, looking for greenery, I did want to keep to a more fall look, but using green this time. I also thought about adding in a wreath because I wanted to think about tearing it apart and using it as a spiral throughout the greenery. Now, I'm not going to be able to do that here in Hobby Lobby, but you'll understand what I'm wanting to do with it. Now, here are those ivory berries that I thought were just so pretty. So I'm going to pick up a few of those as well. Anything ivory always tends to lend itself to a romantic notion for me. I am going to pick up a candlestick or two. I love these. I have these at home. I did notice today that they have the little red and yellow sticker, and I believe that means they do not go on sale. So keep that in mind if you are looking for these. Now, I decided to go ahead and keep my backdrop of the gold framed mirror, and I'm adding in this beautiful print of a lady reading a book. Again, so romantic and the perfect coloring for fall with the dark background and the ivory. And then swans are such a big deal right now, and I thought, why not? I think it will add to that very romantic feel. It has the perfect coloring. It could not be better. I did switch it up and put it up front, and I think it looks so much better. But I'm loving this already. Now, this greenery is something that I have used so many times, and it just drapes so well. I love the way it just cascades over any type of console table or mantle. You can bunch it up and let it drape over an urn. It's just really a neat garland to work with, and I really enjoy it. Now, placing in the berries is just going to add more texture, and of course the coloring is perfect to go along with the two prints that we've added in. Once again, the ad of glow with one lone candlestick holder accompanied by a slender and quite tall taper candle to finish off the look. I think this is simply beautiful and very romantic. Now, don't forget the addition that could be made by the spiral grapevine by simply snipping the vine that holds the wreath together. I think this would add so much and give yet another texture to the look. I also found these candlestick holders as well, and I thought they gave off a very vintage look and would be a great addition as well. Friends, I'm going to admit something. Today I found myself in the middle of a terrible, rotten, no good, nothing going right, too much on my plate kind of day. I've been frustrated, overwhelmed, mad, sad, and all the things I shouldn't have been. Yes, my day was bad and I was flustered, but I didn't need to go down the rabbit hole of adversity. Instead of sabotaging my own day, I could have stopped and looked for the comfort in Him. If I would have stopped, I could have found His strength, protection, and the safe place that He offers. But instead, I went from one task to another, one interruption to the next, and one frustration to the tipping point. I ended up so far from where I could have been and found myself having to call on Him from the ends of the earth, when all I really had to do was stop, take a deep breath, and call on Him. Hear my cry, O God. Attend to my prayer. From the end of the earth, I will cry to you. When my heart is overwhelmed, lead me to the rock that is higher than I. I want to encourage each of us to stop when that first unexpected situation comes our way. Call on Him then. Let's not wait. It's just not worth traveling to the ends of the earth before we make the call. All right, friends, we've made it home from Hobby Lobby. I hope that you've enjoyed the video so far. I know I gain a lot of inspiration. In fact, that last vignette, it made me want to buy everything that was in it. You know that I love that romantic feel, and I think it was just so pretty. The softness of the ivory just gets me every time. Now, I did pick up a few things for my pre-fall decor. You probably saw a little bit of it when you watched last week's video, but I thought I would share what I picked up today. Most of it was on sale, except for a couple of things, but I went ahead and grabbed them anyway, so I didn't have to go back out. So the first thing I want to show you are these beautiful branches. Now the leaves are more of a material feel, if you can see that. And I love the stems themselves. I love having these little pieces that you can kind of curly cue out, and they're obviously very bendable, and I think they're going to make a great branch for my pears, and that was what I was really looking for and hoping for. I also picked up some of these berries after I saw them today. I thought, you know, they are just the perfect look for that pre-fall vibe that I'm going for, and they really match the pears so well. And I think once they are kind of intertwined into the branches, they're just going to give off the look that I was going for. The other berries were just too soft of blue. Even though I like them so much more, I just wanted them to be a little bit darker. So I think these are going to work. And like I said, they just really go with the pears. Now I did pick up 2 bags of pears. They're quite heavy actually. I think they're a lot heavier than the pears I have now. Now these were $6.99 per bag. but they were not on sale, unfortunately. And I guess I forgot to give you the prices on these. Now this stem was 40% off and it was $9.99. So not the greatest deal, but good enough. And then these were only on sale for 30% off. That's what fall is at right now. And these were $6.99. So again, not as cheap as I would have liked them to be, but with the discount, it really works out. I did grab a couple more things. I had to grab 2 of these. Now these are with that yellow sticker, which means they never go on sale. They were only $3.99, and I've really been wanting something like this. And you know how much I love candlelight, so I had to grab them. I grabbed 2, and then I did go ahead and grab 2 of these candles because I thought they were so cute together. So I'm really happy about that. I think they're gonna look really cute, especially with this decor and actually any that I have on hand. And the last thing I purchased were these velvet ribbon spools. Now I love this velvet ribbon. I've used it time and time again. It is very thin, but I love the colors. I did get individual spools this time. Normally I get their packs, but I liked the mustard color and then this green, and I love the brown and of course the black. So I just decided to grab the individual ones this time and hope that they will work with what I'm going for. I love the idea of tying velvet ribbon around any candle holder. Even this one I think would look really sweet with it kind of flowing out of the bottom there. And especially for fall, I think these colors are just gonna be very pretty. So I just wanted to show you that, and then I'm gonna go ahead and close this video out. Hopefully Millicent will stop barking. But anyways, I want to wish you all a wonderful rest of your week. Remember to stay safe, be blessed, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye, everyone.